What is going on, Trident Community? Evan from Trident Incorporated here, back at you with another video talking about the sports card hobby. And today we're going to be going over some NBA players to watch and potentially buy for this upcoming season. Now, the NBA season has begun, but we're still in the very early stages, right? So I think there's a lot of opportunity there to potentially buy some guys early on in the season. Some of the things we're looking for, of course, obviously younger players, right? Rookies that are maybe not the highest end of rookies, or guys like from last year's draft class, right? Like Scoot Henderson. I think some of his prices are decent. The Thompson twins are pretty decent priced. But specifically for this video, I'm going to be looking for a specific type of player. And the type of player I'm going to be looking for is role players on potential playoff teams. And the reason for this is because a lot of the times you can get those guys right now for a little bit cheaper because they are a role player. However, if they have a good playoff run and that team that they're on has a deep playoff run, their prices could potentially go up. So I do think there's an opportunity there. You saw it with a couple guys. Tyler Hero is a name that comes to mind. Christian Braun from the Denver Nuggets is another name that comes to mind for me as a role player to step up. Really, Derek Lively, I think, is another one that comes to mind. He was a rookie, obviously, but again, I think his prices sort of went up during the playoffs, and the Mavericks had that run. So I do think there's an opportunity here. So I'm going to mention some of these guys here. And also, take some flyers, right? Take some chances. And some of these are safer than others. I do think. And I also have one at the end, kind of fun one, I think, to potentially buy. But with that being said, let's get right into it. We're going to start off with Desmond Bane of the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, I know some people may think, okay, well, he's not really a role player. But that team, John Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., those guys are the big guys of that team, right? They're going to get a lot of the spotlight, and rightfully so. They're great players. Desmond Bane's really good too. And I think if the Grizzlies are a team that could have a playoff run, I think you could look into buying Desmond Bane right now for fairly cheap. He's gotten off to a nice start this season. The Grizzlies do have a playoff run, and Bane's a big part of that. His prices could go up, especially because he's already a name that is recognizable by NBA fans and hobby fans alike. So I do think there's an opportunity there for Desmond Bane. If you could pick up some of his even lower end rookies, you could potentially flip for a profit. Now, I will say this whole category, I guess, exercise is based on patience, right? If you're buying now, you're going to have to wait a couple months, obviously, for the playoffs to go, and a lot can happen between now and then. So I would be remiss if I didn't say there is some risk here. There is obviously some risk, but I think there is a reward here as well. You can't hit the home run if you don't swing the bat, right? So I do think there is some potential opportunity here. I think Desmond Bane is a guy for that. Another guy we're going to move on to is Josh Hart. Really the perfect role player for the New York Knicks. Obviously, Josh Hart was a big part of their playoff run last year, and I think he could be another big part of their playoff run this year, or potential playoff run. He's just the type of player that really thrives in the playoffs. His grittiness, his ability to rebound, shoot threes, game-changing plays. And the Knicks have a lot more star power now, right? Obviously, acquiring Mikal Bridges, acquiring Karl Anthony Towns. There's a lot more star power there. And I think Josh Hart maybe pushed to the side just a little bit, a potential opportunity to buy some of his cards. I do think there is a market for Josh Hart there. And you can get, again, some of his rookies, I think, for fairly cheap. Some maybe not rookies as well. Some low-numbered stuff. And I know he didn't start his career on the Knicks, so that does maybe hurt the value a little bit because it wouldn't be in a Knicks uniform. But I do think there's an opportunity there with Josh Hart as well. Like I said, we're looking for these role players that could potentially step up. This one is a little bit different because I'm not sure this is a playoff team, but I think it's a guy who is ascending. And again, he's on a team that's going to get a lot of attention. That is Jeremy Sochan of the San Antonio Spurs. The reason they're going to get a lot of attention is one of the reasons this hobby is really going back up, I think, to be honest with you. It's Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama cards were really going up, and the Spurs themselves, in terms of national media attention, were going up last season as soon as Wemby got there. And I think this season, another year of Wemby developing, the Spurs could get better. They have Chris Paul there now too, so I think Sochan is a name to really watch out for, to potentially buy. And again, I think he's really a good role player and a potential playoff team. I'm not saying the Spurs are going to be a playoff team. Maybe they're more of that play-in. But I think if Sochan makes a few plays there, he's going to be on the mind of a lot of people. And again, the Spurs are a team that is going to start getting more and more attention, I think, especially if they do go on a little bit of a run here during the season. So I think Sochan is a name to watch. Another name, and this is a name who he could potentially be traded to a contender, but also the team he's on could make a run, and they're obviously a team that has had a lot of attention. That's Jonathan Kuminga of the Golden State Warriors. So Kuminga has been up and down in his career. He hasn't really been exactly what the Warriors have hoped for, but I think he is a solid. He's a solid player. He is a pretty solid player here, and I do think there is an opportunity here for him to potentially, if things don't go well with the Warriors, I think there's a potential to be traded to a contender, right? To another contender there. But again, even if he stays on the Warriors, you're on a team with Steph Curry. Like, Steph Curry alone is going to bring you enough attention. You may even make the playoffs as is. And again, I think if Kuminga can step up during the playoffs, with whoever he's on, right? Whoever team he's on, whoever he's with, I think there could be an opportunity there for Jonathan Kuminga to potentially be a name that, well, kind of pops out, right? I think he's already a name that is recognizable. I think there's a chance he could be even more recognizable if he has a good playoff run, potentially being on the Warriors themselves or getting traded, because I think he is a name that we could see get moved at the trade deadline or close to it, to a potential contender there. So we will have to wait and see. The last name I have on this list is not a player who's going to attempt a single shot this season. Not a single one. But it's J.J. Redick, the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. Look, he's coaching LeBron James. He's coaching Bronny. He's coaching AD. Like, if there is a chance for the Lakers to go into the playoffs and make a run, I think J.J. Redick player cards could actually be going up in value. And you can get some nice, maybe it's like some autos. You can get them for some decent prices too right now. And I just think that if the stock goes up on the Lakers themselves, I think J.J. Redick's going to get a lot of the credit there. And rightfully so. He's done a nice job so far with the Lakers. And I think that there's an opportunity there. So kind of an unconventional one to round out our list here, but a fun one, I think. You don't really usually see, suggest buying a coach's player cards, right? But I think in J.J. Redick's case, he is fresh on the mind, right? He's only been retired a couple of years. There's modern product with him in many different jerseys. Like I said, you can get some nice stuff at J.J. Redick. So if the Lakers go on a run here and J.J. Redick is starting to get a lot of the credit as being a good head coach in the NBA, I think his market could actually go up a little bit. So a pretty fun one there. But let me know what you guys think. Who are you guys watching in the NBA this season as a potential buy? Buy low, buy high, buy low, sell high, whatever it may be. Let me know what you guys think. I'm always looking for advice myself on what to do there. But let us know in the comment section below. Thank you all for the support on Trident Inc. on Whatnot. It has been great. We appreciate it. Please check out the store that we have and the Anytime auctions. If you go on Whatnot, you check out the Anytime auctions, I can almost guarantee there's going to be something there that you like, and you look at and you say, I got to have this. So be sure to check out the Anytime auctions and get those bids in. But please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you all for watching, and keep collecting.